So we got a 2017 Audi S6 that we're doing rear brakes on. And on these Audis and a lot of cars now, you've got to release the parking brake. And it takes a scan tool to do it. So I got the scan tool hooked up, got the car turned on. We're just going to go to hot function. I've already got the car jacked up and got the left wheel off. We're going to go to parking brake. Parking brake here. Replace brake pads. Make sure that the parking brake is released. And then you'll hear the stepper motor start driving back so that you can depress the piston on the caliper. And then after that, it's just like any other brake job. Now on this one, there's a sensor that's got to be replaced too. That's what happened. The pads got thin enough to where the sensor hit the rotor, brought the light on, and that's how you tell that brake pads are starting to get thin. So let me get set up here, and we'll get this job done. All right, so I'm going to try to pry this piston back as usual, if I can get in here. This is what you won't be able to do if you don't retract the emergency parking brake. So as you see, the piston's all pried back. So now whenever I take this caliper off, the piston's already going to be back. I'm not going to have to use any special tools to pull that back. All right, let me get an air tool. So the new pads came with new hardware, and it actually came with a new sensor. Of course, always look at your rotor. Make sure that the rotor's fine.
Are you going to link the pads on your video?
Yeah. Now that I think about it.
Leave the box so you can keep it.
Pop that sensor out of the way. See if I can push that piston back just a little bit more. Sometimes whenever the caliper's just sitting there static, that piston will kind of creep out, so sometimes you gotta push it back in there. Of course, look at all your rubber boots. This car doesn't have very many miles on it, so everything still looks great. And then as far as the sensor, it just unplugs. There's a connector right here. There's a little clip in there. If you use a screwdriver, it'll pop it right up. And I don't know if you can see what happens here, but whenever the rotor rubs that sensor down to the contactor, it just completes the circuit and brings the light on. You can see where that rubs. These are not reusable. You can't reuse that. That way. So that's going to just clip right on just like that. Take the top one back out one more time. Finally, all right. That one's done. All right, so this side's done. I'm gonna go ahead and put the wheel back on and go do the other side. Of course, the other side's gonna be just like this one, but it won't have a sensor. You only have a sensor on one side. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Okay, so the brakes are done. I just got to down jack that other side, but the wheel's back on. So I'm going to hit OK. You can hear the stepper motors for the parking brake. Tightening the brake back up, and then they just released. And you're done. And there's a lot of scan tools that actually have electric park and brake function on them. So you don't have to have a high-end one like this one. You can get one for about $300 or $400. So that's it. Just don't forget to pump the brakes just to make sure that you got a nice solid brake pedal. And that's it. You guys take care.